Today is my granddaughter's birthday. Little Olivia Jean was born at 2:31 p.m. Grammy G is beat. So I'll see you in about a half hour after we hear from Samantha B, but let me share my screen and we will get right to Samantha B talking about maneuvering through the holidays, I'm sure.
It is a thankful Nutrition and Fitness 101 here with Samantha B. It is November, dun, da, 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 my watch is on a weird thing, 19th. And we are celebrating our Thanksgiving on Thursday, and we're very excited. So I want to do a little recap. We're going to be talking about how we're going to become our own hero this week. But I want to go ahead and say thank you to you guys that went over your goals with us on the Facebook page or sent them to me directly. I want you guys to take a sneak peek at those goals over the course of the week. You had some people say that they were looking forward to doing activities with their family. They had a lot of people said that they just wanted to stay really active in the nutrition component of Mama G's lifestyle and the fitness component of Mama G's lifestyle, which is super awesome. So I want you guys to also realize that what you didn't say is something very specific when it comes to exercise goals. So nobody said that they wanted to run a half marathon in 1:30. They never said that they wanted to run a 5K in 35 minutes. They never said they wanted to run a 10K in under an hour. So you guys, with your fitness output, need to remember that if your overall goal is just to stay healthy, not to put so much stress on what you're doing for your exercise, that you could literally do jumping jacks, you could literally do a nice dynamic movement pattern through a field, or you could do a nice strong walk, and you got to pay attention to your heart rate. If you aren't completely dedicated to hitting a specific PR time or a PB, personal best time, for a race, then I want you to kind of think about your fitness as your gift to yourself that you can do anywhere with anything, so there should be no stress in getting it done. So I've got a lot of people that are really on the bandwagon for the Orange Theory, which I think is awesome, but it's not the only way to exercise. So if you miss your class, you can 100% still get your heart rate zones all the way up into even orange by challenging yourself through your walking or your running or hitting a set of stairs. You could go literally to a mall and take a lap around or whatever. My meme, who passed away at, she was 87, would walk every single day at least 8 miles. And she lived in rural America in a small town called Rumford, Maine. And she, when it got cold outside, she would always wear double pants. She would stack them up because she thought that, you know, she had to get her exercise in. So she would go out and she would do her exercise. But she didn't make it too complicated. So when it got too cold, what she would do is she would go to her local Walmart and take laps inside for 30 minutes. And when she was done, she would leave. She wouldn't buy anything. She would just go home. And that was her exercise for the day. So we could all learn a thing or two from Meme. She wasn't trying to run the Boston Marathon. She wasn't trying to compete with her friends next door. She was doing active lifestyle living to feel good about herself, to have healthy joints, to have a stronger bone density. She was doing it to maintain a healthy body weight. And she was doing it to enjoy her life. So I hope that you guys all realize by setting those goals and realizing that there's no pressure in what your goals are, but you just have to keep going. And consistency is probably one of your biggest friends in trying to reach your goals and reach the goal of feeling good in your own skin. So just want to thank you guys for that. I want you to make sure that if you did write those goals down and they were a little bit vague, having something a little bit more specific sometimes can keep you a little bit more driven. So if you are having a hard time hitting your mobility 4 times a week, maybe that's a pretty good goal to say, I want to hit mobility 4 times a week. And when you hit 1, 2, and 3, and it's Sunday night, you're tired and you don't want to do it, you only have 1 more, and then you would have hit a goal and you could scratch it off your list. That would be something that would be a great option to do. I want to just touch on that a little bit. I don't get too much from you guys in relation to your mobility exercises. So I assume that they're going pretty well. If they're going so well, and you're looking for a challenge, you can also reach out to me for that as well. Remember, as of January 1st, you guys will be getting, if you are a lifestyler, a little bit new programming, which should be pretty fun. You'll have mobility segments, strength segments, and cardio segments sent to you on a private Instagram account, all done by Samantha B herself, with video and explanation for you guys to help grow through 2019. So that's something that we're definitely looking forward to. Okay, so let's get right into business with what our topic is today. So my topic today is to be your own hero. And oh man, that sounds so awesome, that you could be your own hero, that you wouldn't need to aspire to be like anybody else. But if you really look at the words and hear those words and try to understand what I'm saying to you, okay? So if you are looking just specifically for the right job, or maybe it's the right schedule, or the right man, or the right woman, or the right house, or the right car, the right whatever, if that's what you're waiting for, that your life would then turn into the life that you dreamed it to be, you are putting your hero somewhere besides yourself. So if you think that these other possessions, or these positions in your career, positions in your relationship, are what's going to allow you to grow into this hero of a human that you've been waiting to be, then you've got another thing coming. You've got to look at yourself and you've got to say, today's the day that I'm going to be my own hero. Today's the day that I'm going to be the best wife. I'm going to give my husband a kiss. I'm going to treat him with a ton of respect. When people ask about him, I'm going to say really great things about him, and own it. And if there are things that are going on in your relationship that aren't going to help grow it, then you need to go ahead and find an avenue to work through those issues. So that's a really easy one to see. So if you are having any issues with your spouse, or if you're having any issues with a friend, you can pretty much relate those things together. So if you honestly can't say a good thing about your friend or your spouse or whoever it happens to be, then you need to acknowledge the fact that there's an issue going on, and you need to find a way to work on it instead of dwelling on it for however long, and then making that be your kryptonite in allowing you to stop exercising, and allowing you to eat off of your designated plan, and allowing you not to track, and allowing you not to enter into MyFitnessPal. So when we ask you, or I'm asking you, to start becoming your own hero, I want you to be a person that you are proud of. I want you to be a person that you aspire to be, instead of looking at the people around you. Maybe Mama G is a person that you want to aspire, that she's your hero, that you want to be just like Mama G. Well, guess what? Today's a good enough day to start being more like your hero. So I don't know what it is that you are aspired by a person. Maybe it's their work ethic. Maybe it's their job. Maybe it is their house. If those are the things that you're aspiring to be, then let's work towards those things, instead of saying, but if I had the right job, but if I had the right husband, well, if my husband supported me more, or if my friends supported me more. Stop making excuses for you to get ahead of your game. This is the only game that you get to play, your game. You're putting things in front of it, which is making it okay because you have imperfect things happening in your life. Well, guess what? We all got a little imperfect going on. We all got a lot of challenges going on. We all don't have a full bank account. We all don't have a full home to bring our entire family there, or gather around for our Thanksgiving dinners. Whatever it is that you don't have that you want, let's put that into our goal. So if you're looking to be more positive, be more positive. That's really easy to say, but let's try to attract that type of personality trait. So if you want to be more positive, then let's try to remove negativity. So maybe your goal for this week is to realize your negativity, and instead of saying something negative about somebody or something or the situation, then twist it off into a positive and find something that's a little bit more positive with the situation that you're given. So I'm in a position today where I haven't slept in 2 days. Woo! Can you tell? I am a week out from my first weightlifting competition from USAW, and I lifted some of my best lifting last Friday. I lifted like crap all week up until then. But I'm super tired and I'm kind of on the fence of if I need more rest or if I should try to lift or what I need to do in order to get to my goal, because my goal is so important to me. But I looked at myself today and I said, I'm so thankful. I did a little family photo shoot. I was looking through the pictures and I'm so incredibly happy where my husband and I have gotten to in just a year with my daughter, and watching the magic that happens with having little babies around, especially during the holidays. It kind of just lights up something a little bit special. But in this past year, I couldn't be more proud of the growth that I've made in loving myself and finding new ways to challenge myself, both on a personal level, but an emotional level and a physical level, and not being scared to kind of put myself out there. And I'm just looking at the pictures, I kind of saw myself be really happy in my life and happy with where I'm at. And I thought to myself, how important is it that I am able to compete where I want to compete on my first event? You know what? It is important to me. It's really important to me because I sought out for a goal. I sought out to sign up, and I wanted to, go, and I wanted to compete. And the number that's represented on the bar isn't the representative of the work that I put in. The representative of the work that I put in just happened last Friday. And if I lift as well as I did last Friday, then hell, I'm going to be stoked. But if I don't, I'm going to be proud of myself for putting myself out there and getting a little uncomfortable and allowing myself to either follow through or allow the what's supposed to happen. And it's not going to define how I move forward through this. It's going to define the fact that I followed through. So we're aspiring to be these people that, I don't know, seem like it's unachievable to be really happy in our own skin. We're aspiring to be like the people that we're motivated by and that are our current heroes. But if you look deep down inside and figure out what it is that aspiration, and you start living that person, man, I'm telling you, it's a really happy place to be. And not that I don't have days that aren't happy and times that are, like I just said, haven't slept in 2 days, like there haven't been some challenging times. But the challenging times are what make these happy times so much more worth it. If everything was just, what do you say, potatoes and gravy? Gravy and potatoes? If everything was just gravy, I think. You just only say gravy. The good times would not feel so good. They just wouldn't. And I had so many people in the past month, I think, kind of get this realization factor of that we're not trying to kill them in the Mama G's lifestyle, that really the goal is to just keep moving forward. And you can be successful in fitness, and you can be successful with changing your body composition without constantly putting it into a state of shock. And I think that's a really great place to be. But I also realized that you got to learn it the hard way. And you've got to kind of feel the struggle, and you've got to kind of feel your body say no. And you've got to be okay, and you've got to be willing to let Samantha B and Mama G take your hand and rework the system a little bit. And I want you guys to understand that the mobility segment, the strength segment that progresses you in phase 2 and phase 3, and the cardio regime is a way for you to get started. It's a way for you to dip your toes in and start making fitness a part of your life, but it's not the end all. So if you're looking for something more challenging come 90 days, hell, I want you to go to more challenging. But if you're looking to pull back and just maintain a composition, and you're just trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle with some hiking and maybe some movement, just so you're, not losing it, then I'm super happy about that too. And I want you guys to understand that this is your own journey. So if you aspire to be that person that laughs at jokes, and you're aspiring to be that person that will go for a walk and not be out of breath, then I want you guys to just own that person and go for it, and not be scared to not finish it. Like, I am going to tell you that I have no idea what's going to happen December 1st at my first weightlifting competition, but I can tell you that I put the work in. And no matter what happens, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself, and I'm okay with however it turns out, because I'm not going to win the gold medal at the next Olympic Games. And kind of realizing that and not putting so much pressure on yourself every single day and every single workout to try to win or try to beat everybody, but just to be comfortable with challenging yourself is a really, really strong place to be. So being your own hero can kind of mean a lot of things. Like we've talked about in the past with the pillars of fitness, food, faith, family, and friends, and how you feel about all those things, you can kind of be your hero in all of those pillars. So maybe in your family, you want to lead your family to a healthier, happier life, then guide them by showing them the lifestyle, by offering them nutritious and delicious food, and asking them to bring fitness into their family. When you're talking about your food, you know that Mama G's lifestyle is the way that you should be eating. You know that having a treat is not going to completely destroy you. You know that having a treat is just a treat, and so be it. You know that having your faith and understanding that your God is going to do whatever he's going to do, and you're going to be able to deal with whatever he gives you. Whether it's a perfect situation or not, there's a purpose, and it's going to happen no matter what. So allowing your life to just be led by your God, and having friends that support you. And if they don't support you, then have those conversations. Don't let them bulldoze over you. Be the hero. Be the hero that steps up to the plate and says, hey, you're not helping me be the best variation of me. Or, hey, I want to be around more people that want fitness and food and faith and family and good feelings in their life, and start surrounding yourself with people that allow you to grow. And lastly, if you're feeling like you're always down in the dumps, or you're feeling like you're always coming up short, you need to take a big, strong look in the mirror and start finding the real problem. Because the real problem isn't the job. It's not the schedule. It's not the man, the wife, the spouse. It's not the house. It's not the car. It's not the whatever you think would make your life this dreamy, dreamy, dreamy life that if it just happened, if I won the Mega Million, that my life would then change. You have to look at you and say, how am I going to be my own hero so that I'm not looking for somebody else to live my life for me? My life is here for the taking. So we have a Thanksgiving. We have a day that's directly in front of us, that you're going to be surrounded. I hope that all of us are surrounded by somebody, by multiple people that we love. We have multiple people that we want to show love. And I hope you are at a place right now, maybe after this conversation, that you can actually open up your arms, open up your hearts, forgive whatever needs to be forgiven, and move forward to start showing some real love and some real fortitude to these people that you want to love and show love. I think the most important thing for me coming into this holiday season is that I verbally need to tell the people that I love how much I love them, because I think that goes in my family, at least my immediate family. We tend to show a lot of love by trying to make time for each other and call each other and have conversations and plan activities and have holidays together and so on and so forth. But we don't always say the things that are the simple things, like, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I love you. I want you to know how much this means to me that you're sitting at my table right now. I want you to know how much it means to me that you're here, and how blessed I feel to have you as this part of my life. And I want you guys to find the reasons, the purpose, the opportunities to say whatever it is that you feel. If you have somebody coming to your house that you don't know, make sure that they feel at home. Make sure that you're not alienating the people in your family that might alienate you, and change your perspective a little bit to being the person, being the hero that you want to be. You all have been in Mama G's lifestyle for at least 3 to 4 weeks right now. Some of us, we've been in for a really long time, and we know that this lifestyle brings us a lot of ability to kind of have our own confidence when it comes to our health. And last week I talked a little bit about going to a party and they were offering protein, fruits and vegetables, and energy in 3 different packets. And that it was very easy for me to say, no, thank you. I'm not going to buy that. But we don't often tell you that it's okay for you to bring that confidence with you in every aspect. Even if you have areas of yourself that you're still working on, today is the day you could just say, I'm my own hero, and whatever I have that I'm still working on, I'm working on it. And I'm not going to take a step back. And I want to just shortly go over this one thing, because I want you guys to know that Thanksgiving is one meal. It is a gathering around a table where you're giving thanks. And I want you guys to understand that if you have a piece of sweet potato pie, I don't know, what's something else? A piece of pecan pie, and you have mashed potatoes, the lifestyle's not over. You haven't completely failed yourself. I'm not disappointed in you. Mama G's not disappointed in you. But I'll tell you right now, if you're disappointed in yourself for having a snack or having a treat on a holiday, then you haven't figured out how to balance your life. You haven't figured out that this life is about balance, and that we eat calculated, and our fitness is calculated 95% of the time, and not 5% to not calculate it, not use MyFitnessPal. You can eyeball it. You're not just going to have an entire pie, I hope. I hope that your body wouldn't allow you to have an entire, I thought there was a cow behind me. I hope it must have been like a lawnmower or something. I hope that your body would not even allow you at this point to eat an entire pie. I hope that you would feel so sick by the time you were 2 pieces or 3 pieces in that you would be done with it. And if you aren't at that place right now, guess what? Today you're still working on it. And tomorrow you're still working on it. And you can still be your own hero if you're still working on it, because you're working on it. You're not self-sabotaging yourself and taking out Halloween candy from a month ago and still binging on that. You're not still going to some fast food restaurant and ordering a bunch of food that definitely isn't going to fit into a nutritious and delicious food plan. You're working on it. So take away all the stress of trying to look perfect and be that perfect person, and put the stress everywhere besides where you have it right now, and walk into being your own hero. Own it. Understand what that means to you, because we all have a different hero in our minds. I want all the heroes out there, all my Mama G's lifestyle peeps, to be a hero for everyone around them, because we have people in our lives that are still struggling. We have people that haven't figured out their fitness. We have people that haven't figured out their food, health. I watch people on the regular, hence I'm in the gym most of the time, destroying themselves. And by destroying themselves, I mean not having an idea of when to pull back or when to push forward or what they're doing. Strength training 7 days a week, not eating, not recovering, their bodies are pissed, the constant injuries. Those are the people I'm talking about. And I wish that they had a hero inside of them that said they were good enough and that they were able to ask for help. Being a hero can ask for help. Being a hero can pull back. So I want you guys to remember that Mama G and Samantha B on the holidays are totally here. If one person texts Mama G on Thanksgiving Day and says, I'm not sure what I should have for my starchy gravy at my Thanksgiving meal, your table doesn't have sweet potatoes on it, then you guys have another thing coming. But it is one meal. You still have breakfast. You still have snack. You still have lunch. Well, maybe lunch is Thanksgiving, so blah, blah, blah. You still have dinner. You still have your other snack. Nothing else changes. You're having one meal. You're not having pie, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you are, own it. And don't call Mama G crying after this. Don't call Samantha B after this saying, oh, I've got to do extra this because I ate like shit for an entire day. Don't do it. Because Mama G's lifestyle isn't about trying to make up for something. It's about living. It's about living our best life, because we are only working on trying to become better for the rest. And being better for the rest is not trying to out train a poor diet, out train a terrible, what do I want to say, binge attack at the Thanksgiving or the holidays areas. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that that's something that you're thinking about. My last little food for thought, we have a holiday coming up. There's turkey trots going on left and right. Mama G and Samantha B will be at the Dana Point. I wish I knew the numbers, like the 53rd annual Dana Point Turkey Trot. Samantha B and Mama G will not be running. They'll be doing, I might do a little run up, laugh at everybody, come back, but I am not planning on doing much more than 6 miles. Offset some of the calories that we'll be eating at Thanksgiving that will not be calculated, and hopefully stay pretty consistent in weight, because remember, I'm going to try to be at a specific weight in a week. So it's a little bit more important than just having this goal to have a downward trend, because having just a day that comes up shouldn't be that bad. So I want you guys to remember that you're going to go out and do a turkey trot. If you're actually running and you haven't ran a 6K or 5K or 10K or whatever happens to be, then do us a favor and move around before you start. Get your quads warmed up. Do a couple of squats. Stretch out your quads, stretch out your ankles, move your upper back, move your thoracic spine. I would strongly recommend hopping onto a foam roller before you leave your house, and then hit the ground running when you start. Have fun. Challenge yourself, take pictures, laugh, smile, enjoy yourself. If you're not having fun, pull back and start walking. There is no shame. There's no nothing. If your hero does the turkey trot, guess what? You can do the turkey trot too. Guess what? You're probably not going to win. Usually there's some pretty fast runners that are probably very accomplished in their running careers, and let them be accomplished in their running careers, and let you just be active to be active, because that is what we do here at the Mama G's Lifestyle. So guys, don't forget, move a little before the race, stretch a little post after the race if you're feeling kind of funky, take a nice hot shower afterwards, let your body relax, and enjoy being around the people that you've chosen to surround yourself with for this holiday season. This is the kickoff, guys. We've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas, and we're moving into a whole new year, and a whole new year at Mama G's Lifestyle as well. So as we're coming down into the final couple of weeks, we're at the 19th, so we still have another week before we really start off with our new group coming into December. But I want you guys to really, really think about your hero and being your own hero for this week. Being your own hero tomorrow when you wake up, and try to carry on. Try not to put this, especially for those of you guys that have got stuff going on. Instead of letting it just completely take over you, turn it, own it. Keep working on yourself, because I'll tell you right now, it feels a lot easier to tackle on a day when you're feeling a little bit more accomplished with what you've given your body to fuel yourself and what you've done with your body to move yourself. And if you're feeling like you're on top of the world and really in control of your life, I think you're going to feel a little bit more motivated and a little bit more in control of taking over whatever it is, with whether it's your family's health or whether it's your personal situation with work or friends or family or your husband or spouse or kids. You'll have more control. Let's only take steps forward, and let's only look at ourselves in a way that you look at your own heroes, because guess what? It's all about being your own hero today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most wonderful time of the year, they say. And if you aren't experiencing joy, I want you to reach out, and I want to see if we can't help find some joy in your life. When things are really, really hard and you can't find the silver lining, and there are definitely circumstances where silver lining is really, really probably far away, it's still going to come at some point, and we've got to remember that the right job, the right schedule, the right man, woman, spouse, the right house, the right car, the right whatever is not going to make your life what you dreamed of it. The only thing that's going to make your life what you dreamed of it is you being your own hero. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Samantha B, and you are better for the rest.
Oh, Samantha B kills it once again. Holy smokes. Okay, Mama G, I need sunglasses on. I didn't get very much sleep last night myself. So let me just say, Samantha B, loving the new unstructured cut. Very much so. I don't know if any of you see my little great nephew Sebastian in the picture. My sister, the grandma, is rocking him. He's adorable. Well, Sebastian, your little cousin Olivia Jean was born today at 2:31 p.m. and Grammy G was there to witness the birth, and it was pretty amazing. So, wow is all I'm going to say. This has been quite a week in Mama G's life, from recouping from surgery and not being able to do all the things she's used to being able to do. We had two very tragic deaths in our family and our friends. We lost a young lady that I just rekindled a relationship with. They were just at my house, her husband and their little 2-year-old. The husband was killed on his way to work this week. It's horrendous. And then we lost my husband's best man's wife as well to an illness. And then today I witnessed the birth of my granddaughter. And man, talk about life from birth to death. It's a little overwhelming. I also was able to witness the collection of my little Olivia Jean's cord blood. And for those of you who don't know our story with our son Evan, who we lost 11 years ago, my 9-year-old, Evan was given hope through donated cord blood, and today little Olivia Jean donated her cord blood. So it was a very, very, very emotional day. And I come here tonight, and I'm so grateful to have all of you and Samantha B to walk through this journey we called life together. And I just want to reiterate a couple of things. I want to talk about the, goal setting. I think it's so critical, especially at this time of the year, when we're talking more about this as we go through December with your goals. And we use SMART goals, the SMART, SMART for specific, M for measurable, A for assignable, R for relevant, and T for time-based. You actually have to be able to set some parameters to their goals. So that will be what we will be working on when we come back from Thanksgiving, going into the Christmas holidays. So be prepared. I'm going to challenge you all in that direction. My daughter had a goal today for her birth plan. She had it all spelled out. She knew exactly what it was going to look like. And let me just tell you what, if you think that you're going to plan how a baby is born, you are forever wrong. It was very, very different than she expected. She said, had I known what natural childbirth was going to be like, I would have given it a second thought, but we got her through. She killed the game. And that was something else. And we just got to be prepared for obstacles that get in the way. We just have to be. Life is all about obstacles. Life is a roller coaster, and together we can maneuver through them. Here's what you have to remember about Thanksgiving, what you have to remember about Christmas, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, Valentine's, Halloween, Easter. It's not your last holiday, God willing. So do not say to me, oh, it's the Thanksgiving. I need to have everything. How about you think about the fact that if you put your head down, next year at Thanksgiving, you'll be at goal. And Thanksgiving looks completely different at goal than it does when you're trying to reach a goal. And you guys know, by monitoring yourself with your heart rate monitors, your iWatches, holy crap, how much effort it takes to burn a certain number of calories. And the thing is, you know how long it takes right now, and the effort and the fortitude and the sweat and sometimes the tears that accompany those calorie burns. And in literally seconds, those calories are consumed. And where's joy in that? This is where you really have to delve deep, right? You got to reach out to Mama G and Samantha B. You got to hold our hands. We will hold you. And you have to realize that that particular piece of pumpkin pie, and then the little chocolates that come out, and then maybe the pecan pie, and the this and the that, the other thing, are going to make you feel, number one, like crap, because you're so used to eating nutritious and delicious that your body is not going to accept the fat and the calories and the processed who knows what in a way that's going to be feeling good. It's just like drinking too much, right? When you're in the midst of it and you got a little buzz and everything's feeling good, and then when you get in bed and the room is spinning and then you're praying to the porcelain god and you're like, okay, just take a deep breath. And you know, if you're going to go for something that somebody made or you make it. Maybe you love chocolate pecan pie. Don't go to Marie Callender's. Don't go to the, frozen pie in the grocery store. Make it. Let's find a beautiful, wonderful 5-star 2,000 review recipe and let's make it. By the way, that's how Mama G makes recipes for you guys. Somebody says to me, oh, I want mushu pork, or I want this, that, and the other thing. I Google a recipe with that name and I look for something that has 5 stars with the most ratings, and I take that recipe and I healthify it. Now, here's the deal. If you're going to have a cookie. Somebody had posted some black bean lentil brownie. Okay, you know what? If you're going to have a brownie, have a stinking brownie and enjoy every single bite. Because after those bites are done, we no longer taste it, right? After that reward center in the brain, right, has that boost of hormones that says, oh, this is awesome, it goes away. And then guess what? In order to get that again, you got to eat more. And then all of a sudden, right, it's like with the Thin Mints from the Girl Scout cookies. The one Thin Mint cookie tastes awesome. But then at the end of the sleeve of Thin Mint cookies, I'm going to put money behind it that it doesn't taste awesome anymore and you don't feel awesome. So you have to find the willpower. You have to find it and you have to calculate it. So in other words, you're going to go into that meal and you're going to know, man, I made this delicious chocolate pecan pie and my treat for the day is going to be that chocolate pecan pie. And I'm going to have a beautiful slice of it. And perhaps I'm going to put some whipped cream on it, which I can't stand, by the way. The chocolate pecan pie I don't like the crust. I would just eat the inside. And then I'm going to look at that plate of food, right? And that plate of food is going to be a nice piece of turkey, right? In that very calculated way, and that beautiful stuffing and a little sweet potato, because I love those for my starchy grainies. And I'll have some salad or veggies or whatever's going on there. But I tell you what, at my house or at Samantha B's house, what we're going to be eating this week, the food that we're going to present to the people that we love is going to be not only nutritious, but it's going to be delicious. So we can feel rest assured, other than the fact that if we overindulge, that nothing changes for us, that the next day or the next meal or the next snack, we go right back to business, living the Mama G lifestyle, because the goal is what, people? To live a long, healthy, independent life. I cannot reiterate this enough to you. This is not about fitting into that pair of jeans or that dress for the wedding, all right? It's not about, the fact that you're going on a cruise in the spring and holy crud, you got to put on a bathing suit. Please, you have to be able to dig deep and understand the meaning of life, just like what Samantha B said. Man, life's rough out there. You see it every day on the news, the suffering. You also see the joys and the beauty out there. And we have to be able to dig deep, and we have to be able to realize that we don't know how long we got, right? We don't know what that ... or that dash is between our birth and our death. But man, we got to give it everything we got to live a long, healthy, independent life. And it's interesting because I met a young man this week, mid-30s, who we talked about the Mama G lifestyle, and he says, well, I'm definitely in, and my fiance is definitely in. And he says, but we're going on vacation for the next few weeks. And I'm like, okay, hey, Mama G, Samantha B, we're not going anywhere. We're here whenever, if and when you're ready to go. I said, go on the website, listen to some of the testimonials, shoot us an email, whatever you need. And today, guess what? That email came from that young man who I said to him, I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I said, you potentially are studying the first day of the rest of your life when you start the Mama G lifestyle, knowing that you and your fiance will be not only role modeling for your future children because they're getting married in a few months, but for his parents, who he told me they grew up poor and they ate terribly, eating very inexpensive convenience food because it was cheap. And his parents are my age in their mid-50s. And, this is when we start to see the effects of our lifestyle choices. And I said, you will be role modeling this beautiful behavior for your parents so they can lead a long, healthy life. And then I said, and by the way, I can't tell you how many of our clients that sit in that 50, 60, 70 age range that say, Mama G and Samantha B, we wish we would have met you when we were young. So that young man emailed today and said, Mama G, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm ready to go. And I couldn't have been more thrilled because I was fine, and he's in his 30s. I'm going to tell you what, your bodies are really resilient in your 30s, even in your 40s. Even in your 40s, your body puts up with a lot of crap. But man, once you hit that mid-40s, that 50s and up, and the warning signs have been pinging, right? And you haven't gone to get the oil change, and you haven't changed the spark plugs. Do they even have spark plugs anymore? And, and you're not getting gas. And you know what? Guess what? You can't buy the old new vehicle. You gotta take care of it before that happens. So that's what Mama G wanted to say about, this is not the last, right? This is the first of many, and this is your opportunity to gain control and gain a life and show the people that you know and love what self-care looks like. So it is 6:45. I am going to just put this no longer on Mama G. I'm going to put this back on gallery view for anybody who is on with me. Let's see if I can do it. And then, and you can do that too, you can hit the right button up there where it says speaker view. If you click on that to gallery view, it kind of goes back and forth. But I am going to ask anybody, otherwise I'll keep talking because Mama G, she can talk forever. If you have a question, a concern about Thanksgiving and how Mama G can, off the cuff, give you a solution. So go like this if you have anything, because I can't see all your faces. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking about the holiday. All right, let me go unmute you, Shar. Okay, Shar. Hi.
Hi, Mama G. I had questions about serving sizes, because when you're, in line to, holiday feast and you're eating at someone else's house, is there a way to kind of portion control your plate so you don't overkill and feel guilty?
Exactly. And the guilt factor, you know what, we have no control over, right? So I always go Catholic guilt. It's the worst. We have everything we do in life. So beware with the Catholic guilt. But here's the deal with the food. I'm going to tell you this anytime, any place, anywhere. Shara's new to the Mama G lifestyle, so she doesn't have all the tools in her tool belt yet. But I don't care where you're going to eat, anywhere, any place, anytime, buffet especially. Goal is to not have to go back to that buffet, right? The goal is that you feel really good about your plate of food. So in all cases, remember, right, what I just said, not your last Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving that is occurring as you reach for goal, because next Thanksgiving, I guarantee you, you put your head down for the next few months, you will be at goal, and you will not approach your holidays in the same way, because when you go to that holiday, it's no longer about overindulging. It is now, man, I am so thrilled about how I feel, how I look, what I'm capable, all of the gains I've accomplished, that food is no longer the number one thing on the plate. Really, it's about the people that you're surrounded by and being able to provide them with beautiful food. So at every meal out, anywhere you go, especially in a buffet situation, you look at that plate and you think about half of that plate being non-starchy veggie. All right. Now, there's a big difference between a string bean casserole that is covered in Campbell's chicken soup, Campbell's mushroom soup, covered with open the can, sprinkle on the fried onion rings that aren't even real onion rings. Because if I'm going to have an onion ring, I'm going to have a real live fat onion ring that I'm going to dip in mustard and enjoy. Okay? So, very different than perhaps it's a beautiful string beans that I've sauteed with olive oil, garlic, and salt and pepper, and a little bit of pepper flakes. And now I've taken a little lemon zest and I've now sprinkled that over there and maybe some fresh herbs. And let me tell you what, that's a whole game changer. So it's about being able to look for a non-starchy veggie that, number one, is going to fill you up, provide you with fiber, give you vitamins and minerals so that at least we can treat our body respectfully within that meal. And then maybe you're a dark meat person like me. I am never going for the white meat. Going to tell you that right now. It is dry and not flavorful, and I would love a turkey leg. If there's a turkey leg, I'm going for it if it's still there when it's my turn. And you bet that I'm going to have a little gravy on my little plate. And then so that quarter, again, half of that plate, the non-starchies, ideally quarter of that plate, lean protein, quarter of that plate, starchy grated carb on any other day. But let's make sure that on that plate, we have a plethora of those non-starchy veggies. You pick that protein that you enjoy, all right? And perhaps you've got multiple choices. That plate should only have about a quarter of it on there. So just try to contain yourself with how much you're taking, all right? Regardless of how it's cooked, enjoy it. And that starchy grainy carb. There's going to be mashed potatoes. There's going to be sweet potatoes. There's going to be stuffing. Right there are three potential choices for starchy grainy carbs. Do I think you should have all three if you love them? 100%. Do I think you should have a cup of each one of them? Absolutely not, because you will feel terrible. And then, by the way, you will have zero room to try a little bit of dessert. Okay? So really, it's about managing that plate of food. Sitting yourself perhaps in a place where it's not so easy for you to get up right from the table, to go back over there, right? So sometimes you put yourself between people. Maybe if you're on a bench seat or something like that, make sure that you have a nice big glass of water and or seltzer water while you are eating your meal. Also drinking that beforehand. Perhaps you want to indulge in a little bubbly, let us say, or a little wine or a beer. You know what? Again, it's about one cocktail, right? Because the minute we start to drink more than one cocktail, we start to lower our inhibitions. And guess what? At that point, it's a free-for-all. So, and that's the point where we get into a lot of trouble. So it is one meal. That means if you're going to that meal at noon or 1 or 5 o'clock, if it's 5 o'clock, you're having breakfast, you're having lunch. And I would suggest to you that you offer to bring something to that house if you're not already bringing something. That something should always be non-starchy, whether it is a big, beautiful platter of vegetables. You can make a delicious dip with that, and I will be happy to tell you it's going to be Greek yogurt, non-fat or 2%. We're going to throw fresh herbs in there and garlic and salt and pepper and red pepper flakes. Oh, Samantha B looks like she's got something to say, or she's just looking at her vampire face. And you can make a really fun, by the way, I'm not a Pinterest person, but you can make a beautiful platter that looks like a turkey for Thanksgiving with fresh vegetables. And guess what? This is when we talk about mindless vegetables, especially in a situation like this where you try to fill yourself up with those veggies so that when you actually sit down at that meal, that there's not a lot of room left. So you're hard pressed. Even if you stuff yourself to that point, you have already stuffed yourself with things that were low in calories, that were nutritious, and you're going to, let's say, minimize the damage, right? It's about damage control and minimizing the damage, right? That's why we wear seatbelts, right? So we're safe, wear helmets and things like that. But always suggest you bring something. It's either going to be a big platter of veggies to take with you. It's going to be some kind of veggies, a veggie dish, or a big salad to take with you to an event as well, always. Is that helpful, Char?
Yeah, that was really helpful because I was planning on not cooking and avoiding everyone. And, this is sometimes the only time we can get together.
Nope. And if you're cooking, you can say to people, I mean, hey, whatever somebody's good at, I say bring the best that you can bring. If you're going to bring me store-bought stuffing, forget it. I'd rather make it myself, right? Like, I don't want store-bought cookies. I don't want store-bought pies. We only take homemade at the dinner table in my house. My husband knows never buy a store-bought dessert at Starbucks ever again. He'll get in trouble. Like, if we're gonna have dessert, we're gonna have it. Okay. All right, and I'm around this week if you guys need me for any other questions. All right, anybody else? Questions for Mama G? Otherwise, I will keep talking. So Samantha B is going to be hosting Thanksgiving on the actual day. Then Mama G will be hosting Turkey Day number 2. And let me talk about what happened yesterday. So every Sunday night, we have family dinner at my house. And every Sunday night, I still don't know why people come. Maybe they come because they like us. Maybe. But they probably come for the food because the food is ridiculous. Now, the food is always delicious, but the food 100% is always nutritious. So even on a night when maybe perhaps we always let whoever is the birthday in our lives have their pick. Maybe they're going to pick steaks and maybe they're going to pick baked potatoes. Guaranteed, along with those steak and baked potatoes, will be a choice of a sweet potato for those who want it, and there'll be some other protein options for those of us who don't eat beef, like a fish or a chicken or something like that. So we always have options. Sometimes people end up taking everything. There's always that choice with that baked potato for people to have the butter and the sour cream and the cheese and even sometimes bacon that's chopped up and blah, 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 blah. But we also offer for people like me who enjoy it is just some Greek yogurt and some scallions and salt and pepper and fresh cracked pepper and red pepper flakes make me, I just love it. So, or the sweet potato with the same exact stuff on there. I love it. So we always offer those options. We always offer a plethora of veggies because I will tell you what, people in our lives love their veggies. I can never have enough beautiful veggies. And last night was a perfect example. It was my husband's birthday. The night before, he has been on Mama G's plan now for almost 90 days, and he has no intention of stopping. But he's like, I would love to have cheese enchiladas. And I said, guess what, honey? We're going to go Saturday night to Mexican food, and you're going to have those cheese enchiladas. And he loved it. He really enjoyed it. I got a beautiful fish soup, super spicy, tons of veggies, too much fish in there. I took the extra home with me, gave it to the dogs. They were thrilled. and that was the end of it. And he enjoyed it. And that was that. And then last night, what did we make, Samantha B? Let me think. Oh, I decided to make a traditional Italian meal. He wanted homemade gnocchi. So I Googled gnocchi, potato gnocchi, and I took I took potatoes, I mashed them really super fine. I mixed in some whole wheat pastry flour. I added an egg and some salt and pepper. You toss it up just a little bit. You actually do a little bit of kneading, the less the better. You roll it out into little logs, you cut it up, and you boil it in water. And there, my friends, is a beautiful, nutritious, and delicious homemade gnocchi. I also made homemade pesto. And instead of going crazy with buying pesto that's super high in fat because they put a ton of oil and a ton of nuts in there, I Googled that recipe for pesto that had 5 stars, 2,000 reviews on it. And what I did was I used all the ingredients, which was a certain amount of nuts, a certain amount of cheese, the basil or parsley, garlic, salt, and pepper. But instead of using the entire half cup of olive oil, I used a quarter cup of olive oil. All right. And there it becomes the game changer. That instead of taking a normal salad dressing, so if you don't know what a normal salad dressing is in a chef's world, it's 3/4 olive oil, 1/4 vinegar. Well, Mama G's world, we completely swap it. And sometimes Mama G will just use a beautiful flavored vinegar. Now, Trader Joe's has great vinegars. You also know out there's all kinds of olive oil and vinegar stores. So there's beautiful pomegranate and citrus and orange muscat and delicious vinegars out there. Honestly, you add a little, like a grainy mustard, like a Dijon or something like that. I throw in the cubed garlic from Trader Joe's, the Dorad it's called. It's red, it's frozen, and you pop it out and it's minced garlic. I'll put the vinegar in the amount that I want it. A teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I'll throw in a garlic cube or 2 and let it defrost. I put some salt and pepper, maybe some red pepper flakes, put it in a little mason jar, shake it up. That on your greens. Last night the salad was a chopped salad, so it was chopped 2 kinds of lettuce. It was chopped up red onion. It was cucumber. It was a colored pepper. I'm just thinking about what else was in there. Broccoli was cut up in there. Red cabbage was cut up in there. So it's kind of like a chopped cabbage salad, right? But all vegetables. Now my dressing, right, has no fat in it, right? But delicious flavor. That tossed up in there. Now you can toss on there avocado and or feta or whatever floats your boat in terms of cheese. A little bit of nuts on there. And I have a nephew who hates sweet with his salad, but I 100% would throw in there some dried raisins, not some raisins. I would throw in some dried cherries, or I buy the unsweetened fruit at Trader Joe's or Costco, and I cut up like the mango. And let me tell you what, that is one bowl of deliciousness, because guess what? My goal was to get that beautiful non-starchy veggies, right, to up the volume of my food, to fill me up, to give me vitamins and minerals. And now I can indulge a little bit, right? So we had last night, what did we have also? So I made I made the gnocchi, I made the pesto, I made another whole wheat pasta. It was kind of fun. I always buy all kinds of whole wheat pastas. I find them on Amazon and at Sprouts and at Whole Foods. I made my sauce, my marinara sauce, which was very easy. I literally take olive oil. I take big handfuls of garlic, and I buy them at Costco. I buy a big bag of garlic. I'm going to just finish the call with my food tips. I buy the big bag of garlic, whole garlic at Costco. I put it from the refrigerator section into the freezer. When I need whole garlic, I go to the freezer and grab the garlic. So when I make my marinara, it's olive oil, about a tablespoon. It's 10, 15 big fat cloves of garlic that I saute for a few minutes. I don't let it, just before it browns, because the minute you go a little beyond brown, it gets bitter. I throw in a little bit of red pepper flakes, and then I put in organic whole tomatoes or crushed tomatoes, whatever you like in there, salt and pepper, and I let that thing cook at least 15 minutes. The longer the better. I use my immersion blender if I haven't used crushed tomatoes, and I am telling you, that is one hell of a sauce. Make lots of it so you can freeze it so you never have to think about it again. When you go to put that in MyFitnessPal, guess what you're putting it in as? Ounces of tomatoes, because virtually that's all it is, and that was beautiful. We made regular Italian sausage, spicy and mild, which I had no desire to have, because then I made turkey meatballs. And you know how I found my turkey meatballs? I Googled turkey meatballs. I looked for 5 stars. I looked for lots of reviews. And I took that recipe and I added whole wheat breadcrumbs, which I made myself just by drying out Dave's Killer bread or whatever bread I might have had in the freezer, putting it in the oven, letting it dry, throwing it in the food processor or the Vitamix, making breadcrumbs, storing them in the freezer. So Mama G has 2 million tips for cooking, all right? But the only way you're going to get it from me is by asking, because I am more than willing to help by using my recipes, by saying, Mama G, we really want to have a lasagna or a this or a that. I can make it happen. But what I'm telling you on Thanksgiving is enjoy the traditional dishes that are there if you love them, not just because they're on that table. If you love them, if you want to taste them, have a couple bites. Enjoy it. Have 20 different kinds of food on your plate. Enjoy it. But bring those veggies, fill yourself up, lots of sparkling water or regular water, and enjoy the people in your life that you are thankful for. Phew. All right, Mama G's tired. She only got about 2 hours of sleep, just like Samantha B. So, Samantha B, where are you? It is that time.
This is Samantha B, and you are better for the rest.
And Mama G always says it's not about what you lose, folks. It's all about what you gain. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving week. We'll see ya.